Sometimes it happens in football and you can't put your finger on why. We'll certainly be looking at it in the next coming days, and working on it, seeing what we can do better, seeing what we can improve. But I said to my players just at the end there, sometimes it's just about sort of gritting down and making them 50-50s yours, and I think we just missed out on too many today, and that's what upset me a bit more than anything else. First half, there's nothing really in it, and then they sort of got on top, then they score a goal, then we, really poor goal from us, and then they score off a set piece, which I'm not really too pleased about as well. People getting things wrong. So look, it's a new squad, it's a new look, what we expect and everything else. I think there's 10 debuts today. It's a big turnaround. No excuses at all from me. We were beaten by a fairly better side than us today. We were better on the day, I should say, not a better side. We were better on the day. Sometimes you've got to take that on the chin.
Talk about missing the 50-50s and a little bit of bits like that. What do you put that down to?
Just one of them. Sometimes they fall in your favour. When you're out there, it's easy to say when you're up here and when you're standing on the touchline. But there's times when the ball, just rolls in your favour. I just thought there was a couple of times when we tried to get going, or we just sort of trying to get a bit of momentum, and then we sort of lacked that little bit of quality. And that's not been us really. In training and everything else, they've shown really good quality and good composure. And I think a lot of times today, a lot of the composure probably didn't show or didn't shine through. So something which again we've got to help them with this week and show them and give them visuals as well as working with them on the training ground. So yeah, look, it's game one. Disappointment all round, obviously because of the result and not getting that performance. But we'll be ready to go come Monday.
Are there things that you learned today? Because obviously you have the pre-season period and you can learn so much, but I guess it's when it comes down to that competitive games that you see things that maybe you didn't before.
Yeah, of course. We've got a lot of youngsters today who played in the team, people who've played in the league before, people who haven't. So sometimes you're going to get them mixed performances and everything else. What you hope is that it doesn't all come at once and they all don't come together. But unfortunately, a couple of them did today, and it proved, it proved at times really. What shall we say? I'm not calling drastic measures, but it proved that we got punished for them mistakes, and that was unfortunate, because sometimes you get away with that and you can sort of work with that and show them, whereas now goals coming from them and then set pieces, that. But them getting them little moments right, if they get them moments right, then it doesn't. We can stop it at source, and we didn't do that today, and that's something what they've been really good at. But again, when there's a crowd, when there's everything around you, sometimes you just go off a little bit off piste and you start thinking, where should it be, what should they be doing? And it looked like they were, that they were thinking about it instead of just sort of trusting themselves to do it.
When Wigan got the third just after half time, you think, it could go 4, could go 5. Were you pleased with the character that your side showed? Because there was one stage where you thought, hold on a second, could get back into this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the biggest thing I said at half time is don't concede again. So I wasn't pleased, no, because 10 seconds later, the ball's in the back of the net. But look, I'll never take it away. I know that these lads are going to give it all and they're going to do it. And it was unfortunate, because I think after 3-1 we had another fantastic chance. If you get to 3-2, then everyone starts getting a bit jittery. And I just said to the lads, at 2-0, sometimes we've got to sort of start thinking that we're not out the game. We're still in the game. Don't everybody else can write you off. But as a player, and me being on both ends of it, I've gone back from the 2-0 plenty of times, 3-0 plenty of times, and I've also give them a lead away as well. So you've got to keep believing, keep thinking, and keep wanting to do the right things. And if you do it, then we don't work all week as hard as we do to sort of go off piste and start doing other things. And they didn't, the lads. They tried, they did, but it just wasn't to be today. They got soundly beaten by a Wigan side who took care of their chances really and put us under pressure and as I say, won them battles which were important at the times when they got the goals.
You say no excuses, but naturally will it, for your side, 8 players starting making their debuts, 3 more coming off the bench, will it naturally take you a little bit longer than the likes of Wigan, who only had 3 new starters, to get fluid and get into the groove?
Yeah, listen, of course, it's difficult when you've got, Michael Forbes has only been with us a week, Ethan Wheatley's been with us a couple of days, and you're asking them to do things like this, in 5 weeks you're trying to cram what, if you have a lot of the last season squad, they would have expected and known exactly what was wanted, but, we chose that and we knew that, and that's the way we're going and what role we're going down, and what we've got to do is, that's not an excuse, because these lads have been doing it and they've been showing me and training, so they can do it. Now what we've got to do is put it on the pitch, and I'm sure we'll have a positive reaction from this one over the next 5 days and going into the Bradford game next week at Sixfields.
You mentioned to Jake and Tim on Thursday that Michael Jacobs had a knock, missed today, obviously. What's the latest with him? Yeah,
we're going to take it day by day with crackers. We just don't want to put him in any sort of worry or problems, so we're just going to take it, because he's the type of man where you treat the man, not the scan, really, and I just want to sort of see how he feels day by day, week by week. If it takes that, we just get the best and we just keep working him, and we get him back for him ready to come. But yeah, again, he would have been a perfect player for us today to bring us a bit of calm in the storm. But yeah, look, it is what it is, and we just get on with it, and we just look forward to having him back in amongst us.
Be fed up with this question until September, but transfer window, anything looking likely before the Bradford game next week?
Well, who knows, you never know, but look, it's not for the want of trying. We're keeping in touch with a lot of people, keep talking to a lot of people, so yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be a couple more coming in, I should imagine, from now till the end of the transfer window.
You had the home fans with them today. How much are you looking forward to getting in front of the Sixfields faithful for next Saturday against Bradford? Yeah,
and we had our fans with us all the way, and they were brilliant, and I thank them for that, and I thank them for coming over and showing them again in what they always do, and they get behind the team, and they sung their hearts out all day, and I'm just unfortunately we didn't match them today, and but there won't be too many of these occasions, I should hope, over the season. And what I will do is hopefully we'll have a response on Saturday, which will hopefully they can respond to, and we can turn this result and start getting some positive ones on the board.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up to today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.